Hello. I may have to pause other reading to go and take care of one of my kitties, my gray and white, who's starting to complain. Of course, he's complaining because he's being harassed by my other cat. I'll be right back. Okay. I think we got the offending parties sequestered away. So, this is a reading for Aries. The Aries collective, that would be anyone with significant Aries energy. Perhaps you have an Aries sun. Maybe you have an Aries rising, an Aries moon. Maybe you have multiple planets in Aries. You could also have significant energy in Aries. Maybe have you ever looked to see what your signature sign could be? Some people, their elements are rather broad enough to not have any signature signs. Some people, they do. So, there's different ways that you can go and connect with Aries energy. Maybe too you have an Aries Venus. Not particularly that I'm doing love readings, but we'll see what comes out. For these readings, this reading, I leave it general. Whatever message needs to come out at this point in time that I can share, that's what I'm pulling for. Aries, if you appreciate my time and energy, do let me know. Do give me a thumbs up. And thank you for the like. Aries, if you have any comments, please feel free to share. And you could also check out the other videos that I do for the Aries collective. I did do also a moon sign video a few hours ago. I didn't do all the moons. I didn't do air moons, but if you have a water, earth, or fire moon, Kochi. It's funny with cats. I have 2 Siamese and I have 2 domestics. And my domestics, which should be quiet cats, meow just like the Siamese. Before, I had a Maine Coon with my first Siamese. And Maine Coons don't have a tendency to meow. They have a tendency to trill. And for about a good 5 years, 10 years. For the first 10 years of life, my eldest Siamese female, as she was living with the Maine Coon, she never did the Siamese meows. She did the little quiet Maine Coon trills and chirps. Maine Coons actually chirp. Very quiet. And then one day she found her Siamese voice, and things have not been quiet since. Anyway, just on a segue. What were we talking about? Oh, yes, other videos. There are moon messages that you can go and check out if you have an earth, fire, or water moon. Just look on the channel, on the lives. You can also check out astrological messages or anything else as you feel called to. Shall we jump into it, Aries? A message for Aries. A message for Aries right now. I have Hierophant. Hierophant Empress. Strong Taurus energy, Aries. Do you have any significant Taurus placements, Aries? Is there anyone around you with Taurus energy? Perhaps I'd almost ask too, in this energy, Aries, is there anyone who either has or had an impactful role? Perhaps they should have had an impactful role to you in Aries energy too. I was talking about foundation, almost talking about family, Aries, definitely talking about what is needed, not just to be in the world, but to prosper, thrive. Foundation. What is needed, Aries, on your end to prosper and thrive? Of course, Three of Wands is Aries energy. Definitely, we're talking about what's needed to make your mark, what's needed, Aries, not just to be well, but to be, well, to thrive. That's the energy I have here. Three of Wands is Aries energy. Let's see what else we have. Hierophant is accompanied by some more Taurus energy. Five of Pentacles. 10 of Wands. King of Wands. Queen of Wands. So Aries, a couple things are coming up here. We have definitely some soulmate energy, talking about your life path, also to the people who make an impact on you, the people who perhaps have made an impact on you. We'll see. And as I said, Hierophant speaks to either that which provides a foundation, could provide a foundation in this energy. Definitely have soulmate energy here. Definitely have life path energy here. Five of Pentacles, 10 of Wands, King of under a Hierophant, Aries. Well, number one, Aries, are you taking the right risk? This definitely is Aries, but also too taking the right risk, but not just necessarily for the sake of some actions, Aries, and of course maybe we won't know until we actually try it. Some actions inform positively the direction that we want to go, and other ones tell us exactly where we shouldn't go. There's the energy here, too, Aries, of putting out time, attention, developing things, Aries, that perhaps are best left incomplete. Aries, in this energy, there could be a tendency as well that once you've started on something, once you've committed to something, once you've started to develop something, Aries, you could be seeing it for the long haul. You've already put X amount of investment into it. Hello? You've already put X amount of effort towards goals, towards direction, perhaps two Aries with our King and Queen of Wands here, of relationships. Is it time, Aries, for you to see exactly what it is you're building and who you're building it for? How much time, Aries, do you give towards a project, to an endeavor, for it to bloom? What kind of growth, Aries, do you consider hallmarks? What kind of growth, Aries, do you consider benchmarks? And Aries, at what point do you consider that which you've invested in, that which you've built up, Aries, to be enough and go on to new things? Is there energies here, Aries? Very significant Taurus energy, Aries. I do encourage you, with the Taurus energy coming up, do you have Aries placements? Take a look at your chart. See where it sits. See how it's aspected. Because I think, Aries, two things are happening here so far. One, well, one could be overcompensating for perhaps what you didn't get, what you should get, but haven't. Every so often my phone does that. It flips off. Anyway, I don't know why. But hey, we're back. So, Aries, with this Hierophant energy, could be that which you have lacked, that which has been withheld from you. Withheld from you in quality. And you could be in your path of success, in your path of growth, Aries. That could be a nagging splinter that, although you don't actively pay attention to it, Aries, is one of the reasons, one of the motivations for you moving as much as you do, or in the directions that you do. And another energy here, Aries, to think about. It could be precisely where you have your Taurus energy. Well, your Taurus energy that informs what you become responsible for, what you dig in your heels for, what you are determined to see through. Think about that, Aries, if you have significant Taurus placements. That could also apply here. Kochi, what are you calling for? He says, I'm ready to play. I locked everybody up except for my eldest girl. Kochi says there's nobody to play with. That was the idea. Let's go and find out more. Essentially, Aries, what I have here so far as the message in the themes, besides the themes I just spoke about, is investment, is growth. And again, as I said, when do you dig in your heels, Aries, and go harder towards that which you believe in, that which you take responsibility for? And when, Aries, do you decide that's enough and turn your attention to new paths, maybe new paths that are no less, I don't want to quite say the word difficult, but pardon my limited vernacular right now at this time of day. So we'll just say difficult. No less difficult, no less the work, but just simply new projects, new endeavors to invest energy into a new direction. Hello, Brittany. Good morning. I am in New York. So we're a little later from you, but glad to go and share the morning with you. Aries, let's take a look at this Five of Pentacles since we do have Taurus energy coming up. Just a little peek at Five of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles gets a King of Cups. Magician. Well, this is going about it alone, Aries. No support from anyone else, Aries. The directions, the labor being chosen, the task being chosen, the responsibilities you've accepted, you adhere to, you believe in, Aries. And going about it all along, Aries, if we're talking about work and life path energy. Actually, give me one moment here. I'm just going to see if that makes it a little better. Aries, if we're talking about, well, as I said, if we're talking about work, Aries, this could be what you choose to do with your work. You're basically doing it alone. Maybe the support that you get, Aries, would be nominal. Maybe it could be surface level, but ultimately the real vision. And also too, with that, Aries, the vision, the commitment that we do have themes of responsibility in here that comes up. Basically, but though this is you in your energy, you with your effort, very minimal or nominal support from other people, even perhaps those who are closest to you. We'll see, Aries, as this energy comes out. I'm also going to say too, Aries, with Hierophant and Five of Pentacles clarified by King of Cups and Magician. Aries, it could be too that the people or the candidates around you, Aries, also can't assist as well as you can. Thank you for the like. Or Aries, they've limited themselves to seeing how hard you hustle. And in seeing that, Aries, they go, well, Aries has this covered. Aries does this so well. How could I match Aries? How, or like, how could I match Aries, or Aries has this covered? There's that type of energy here too. When you're strong, Aries, people tend to put more on you. And in this energy, Aries, you could just be so focused in your duties, so focused in your direction, so focused in what you have built up so far that you continue. With that also, Aries, asking people, or have you asked the people, Aries, around you to challenge themselves, to pick up the pace themselves, to grow exceptionalism within themselves, Aries? And Aries, if you have asked them to go to higher frequencies, exceed their own standards of exceptionalism, Aries, how have they done so? Aries, there's the energy here of setting the standard, and the standard that not many are willing to meet. Something to keep in mind as we go through the rest of the messages. With a 10 of Wands, excuse me, 10 of Wands. 10 of Wands, we have a 5 of Swords, Queen of Pentacles, the Devil, taking on responsibility, Aries, having such strong strength, Aries, strong capacity, and just accepting the added weight, Aries, as a given. This also does speak to, Aries, two things. One is continuing going about it on your own, shouldering the responsibilities, being capable, Aries, of providing, and therefore you do at your capacity, Aries. There's a tendency here of running a little ragged. There's also here, Aries, is it the vision, Aries? Well, being committed again to what you've built so far, seeing the possibilities that are in there, having determination and focus and determination to achieve, and knowing you have the strength to do it. Both those energies are here, Aries. I believe under Hierophant, we're talking about harnessing that strong drive of yours, that strong vision of yours, the determination, Aries, and also to the willingness to go and push yourself to the maximum in what you do. you can move more intelligently, Aries. You don't have to go and burn yourself out. Work as hard as you are, Aries. You need to be more strategic, Aries. Also, too, Aries, utilize what's around you, the resources around you. Develop the resources around you, just as Aries, you have developed yourself. One could also say, too, Aries, that if you consider it, step into more of a leadership position. You have the capacity, Aries, to grow the capacity of what the people around you are able to do in positive ways, in significant ways. But you have to push for it. You have to push for it and not allow others, as I said before, to make use of your strength, your ingenuity. Then we have a King of Wands. King of Wands gets an Ace of Swords. High Priestess. Well, that connection became much better, didn't it? Where I am, I have 3 Wi-Fis based off the house. I have an external hub as well from my provider. And then I have the phone. It's like rotating which one of these methods will work best. A King of Wands with an Ace of Swords, High Priestess, and 6 of Cups. We're talking about decisions based on what you know, making movements on what you've experienced, what you've observed, what you've seen. Give everything enough time, Aries, and you'll see the motivations between people. Also see their true character. How do you move accordingly to that? Let's take a little closer look at this spread. Six of Cups, Aries gets a 10 of Pentacles. Definitely feel, Aries, some of the energy here is talking about your household, your family. And it could also be, Aries, those who you are, well, those who you live life with intimately. It could also be, Aries, those whose presence has been absent, been missing. Six of Cups and 10 of Pentacles. You know, this is how life should be. The cadence of your life, what you work towards, what your goals are, the full 24 hours of it, not just the 9 to 5 or the 6 to 8, 6 p.m. to 8 a.m. But the whole thing, what you are building for, what kind of life are you seeking, Aries? And likewise, the people around you are building as well. Definitely, I'd say too, with under a King of Wands, there needs to be more Aries. And this could be something that you understand. Not sure about the people around you, especially with the Pentacle energy around here. But, success is more than being comfortable. And the goals that are being pursued are just as important as the results it brings. I will also say too, Aries in this energy with 6 of Cups and 10 of Pentacles. You have an excellent foundation, Aries, to understand people, to appeal to people, to work with people. High Priestess with an 8 of Swords, 2 of Cups, and Death. There's a lot more out there, Aries, for you to meet your entrepreneurial spirit, Aries. As we did have that Queen of Wands come up early in the reading, Aries, we could be talking about your soulmate, your partner. Doesn't necessarily have to be romantic, though, in the energy that I have here. Right? There are different types of soulmate energies, different types of people, Aries, that provide catalyst. Well, catalyst to your growth, not just you being there for them. But what I have here, Aries, basically under a High Priestess, plenty more connections to make that you do not know, plenty more of relationships, relationship types. There's a lot more growth and study of the human connection. And I mean in general, Aries, in the flavor to life. And I would say, Aries, too, that your background, again, has provided an excellent foundation for you to do so. Ace of Swords. We have 8 of Pentacles, 7 of Cups, and Ace of Cups. So, Aries, the energy that I have here, besides the messages that we went into with 5 of Pentacles and 10 of Wands, this is asking you, Aries, to be flexible. Aries, one can definitely find themselves drilled down and committed into what you've already accepted a responsibility for, Aries, the direction that you're already in, your current duties, responsibilities, goals. But Aries, what I have here in this energy, it is time, Aries, to start this shift. Not necessarily to go and drop what you have built, drop what you are building. But I think, Aries, it's time to go and start those incremental steps towards new endeavors, new ideas, new goals, Aries. Have you set anything, Aries? Not so much a continuation for that which you've already been working towards, but Aries, have you set any sort of goals, thought about any sort of goals that are completely new? Aries, the energy I have here is that just like you, Aries, should definitely go and ask for exceptionalism or greater exceptionalism from the people that are around you, Aries. Make sure you're not shouldering all the work, Aries. I get, Aries, that it's time for you to move in entrepreneurial spirit towards new things. Start the ideation of it, Aries. Be curious about the world around you, Aries, and how you can move in directions that you haven't yet done so. Start planting it, Aries, not planting the seeds, Aries. Start discovering what kind of seeds are out there. That's all. Aries and Ace of Swords clarified by Eight of Pentacles, Seven of Cups, Ace of Cups. New endeavors, Aries. Lots to choose from, Aries. You don't need to limit yourself, Aries, on what you do, or perhaps in this energy too, Aries, what interests you. But you do need to start identifying it, Aries, as you start giving yourself the space, the room to consider new projects, new endeavors, new directions you haven't thought of before or you closed yourself off to. Now, Aries, is the time to start putting some energy into pure imagination of what could be, what is, what if. You know, something about this energy, Aries, has run its course in terms of proper growth for you. Also, too, Aries, for you to properly keep on molting your current self, Aries, and growing stronger and more beautiful wings, Aries. There's another molt available for you, Aries, much like, well, rather than a caterpillar becoming a butterfly, Aries, I have the energy of a butterfly that grows more, is able to cover distances more, is able to go and handle more, is able to do more. But that butterfly must go off into new things to do so. Something about the energy, Aries, has pretty much run its course. And right now, Aries, you're not being asked to make any firm or hard decisions, but Aries, you're being asked to let your imagination wander with the possibilities of what could be. Because also, too, Aries, with what you're doing and the direction that you're in, Aries, this can continue much like a hamster wheel. And it doesn't necessarily have to be. You know, a routine, Aries, that lacks spark lacks excitement, but instead, Aries, a routine, well, that's manageable, but is rather gray. You don't have to remain in that energy, Aries. Take the first steps, Aries, of what kind of entrepreneurial projects could interest you, what new directions, Aries, to go that interest you. Start first, Aries, with setting your sights, your vision, your imagination on other things. And the road, the next direction of the road to walk in, to walk on, will present itself. And that is my message for you, Aries. Dream up new things to do. It's a lot more Aries for you to do, a lot more for you, a lot more people for you to meet, a lot more changes for you to initiate, both for yourself and others. And it's time to start the planning of that. Not based per se, Aries, on what you have been working on, what you're familiar with, but what you're familiar with, Aries, gives you a perfect foundation for exploration. Anyway, thank you for the likes, Aries. I will leave this up for a little period of time. Well, the reading I have here is more process, but I would say a King of Wands with a Queen of Wands, and the possibility of that Two of Cups with the Devil, in addition to the other energy that was there. All under a theme of foundation, that which you're committed to, the direction, that which you believe in. One could say it's similar type of energy to a King of Pentacles with a Lover. But this is asking in this energy for you to be, well, dynamic, but dynamic in terms of what you have planned, your plans, what you'll settle with, what you'll work with, what have you been working for. When we keep ourselves on the same track, day in and day out, the same routine, day in and day out, we create our own little aquarium, our own little bubble. And when we have relegated ourselves to a bubble, the possibilities of what could happen are limited. So Aries, in order to go and seek the fulfillment of your life, significant goals in your life, to go and live significantly, right now, you're asked to go and consider what new directions can you go in order for the best opportunities to find you. Anyway, I'll be leaving this up for a little bit of time. Thank you.